Good morning. Coming up, an exclusive interview with one of the jurors from the Alec Murdoch trial as the former lawyer waits to be sentenced for killing his wife and son. The lead prosecutor and the South Carolina Attorney General join us live. Also this morning, we're tracking the extreme weather. 115 million of us on alert this morning, with twisters slamming the South overnight and a state of emergency in parts of California after the heavy snow. Those stories and so much more coming up right here on GMA. Join us.
First order on Batu. Surely we can count on you now.
The Force is strong with this one, or at least it might feel like you are using the Force when playing Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition. The game is part of the slate of launch titles for Sony's new PlayStation VR 2 system.
With PlayStation VR 2, we're able to take these new technologies, like the way you can rumble the headset and what we can do with the graphics. We can turn on all these dynamic lights and stuff. And so as you're going through that experience, you get to hit a lot of very core Star Wars fantasies.
Beyond the galaxy far, far away, the PlayStation VR 2 puts players in the driver's seat of supercars or exploring the post-apocalyptic world of Horizon Call of the Mountain.
I think the real strength of the PSVR 2 is the new technology that isn't available elsewhere. You've had to traditionally make a lot of considerations for what is possible within VR, and the PSVR 2 really kind of turned that on its head.
It will definitely cost more to play these games. You will need both a PlayStation 5 console in addition to the VR2 unit, which itself is priced at $549. Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Ahead in the next hour of GMSA, video from the Alamodome getting a lot of attention this morning after hail comes through the roof during the state playoff basketball's tournament last night. We'll take a closer look. Plus, the love of tennis can inspire many good qualities, but it can be costly. In this morning's KSAT Kids story, how some local students are inspiring the next generation of tennis players. And up next, Katrina Weber checks out the scene of a deadly fire. She's checking in from there. We'll explain why it was so tough for firefighters to fight these flames. And we think obviously wind was a factor as well. Taking a look at TransGuide, wind will be a factor for those north or southbound commuters this morning as you hold onto the steering wheel on this Friday.
A house fire here on the west side has turned deadly for one person. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you why fire crews say they had a tough time getting to that person coming up.
Disgraced former South Carolina attorney Alec Murdoch finds out his fate today after a jury found him guilty of killing his wife and son. MABC's Faith Abube in Washington. Details coming up.
Outside with live cam overnight, very gusty winds. Usually we have to have what's left of a tropical storm or hurricane within about 500 miles of South Texas for this to happen. But there's good news when it comes to those winds. They are dying down.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
And those winds have led to other problems we'll explain coming up. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, March 3rd.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that gusty wind that we had overnight. But first, let's take a look at the power outages around our area.
That's right. So far, we've got at this hour, 51 outages affecting just under 2,000 customers. As we went on the air at 4:30 this morning, it was much closer to 4,000 or 5,000 customers affected. CPS Energy crews are making slow progress.
And we are looking forward, though, to a beautiful weekend. So let's get the latest from Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be just fantastic today. And actually, the wind is starting to settle a bit here in town. We had 49-mile-per-hour wind gusts earlier this morning. And then it's kind of a line of some really strong winds, and that's pushing its way down to the southeast. At one point yesterday, the highest wind reported at the airport officially was 58 miles per hour. But, of course, a lot of folks had stronger winds than that. Earlier this morning, Castroville, right around 62-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Sustained winds, 23 at Pleasanton. Yeah, it's very strong. 13 at New Braunfels. It's settling down back here. And even though a wind gust of 37 is very strong, just in the past hour, you had wind gusts around 51 at Pleasanton, 24 now at New Braunfels. So again, this line of stronger winds is continuing to push its way off to the east. 52 at the airport, mid-40s in the Hill Country, 59 Pleasanton. So we're down closer to normal readings, normal being 40 49 here at the airport. Just a whole bunch of allergens out there. It is going to be interesting to see if indeed, like with Mountain Cedar, when you get those strong winds, it really shoots the numbers up. It's going to be interesting to see what it does with all the allergens out there with those very, very strong winds. And throughout the rest of today, we will bottom out at 50 in the next hour or so. And then, again, plenty of sunshine all day long. We are going to be making it up to 69 degrees today at noon and 75 for a high temperature. Yeah, just fantastic day. Dry air, I should say, and light wind. It's going to cool off quickly this evening. So if you are heading out this evening, you do definitely need a jacket. And we'll have some cool mornings and beautiful afternoons this weekend. So make some outdoor plans. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Stephen, anything big out there?
Not right now, Mike. And I'll tell you what, I love what I'm seeing, just some quiet roadways, and drivers are going to love that too as we get the morning commute rolling here. 10 at the Y, one of Mark's favorite shots there. Very quiet start to the morning. 10 at Probant, it's getting a little bit busier in the east and westbound lanes, but nothing major has been reported by TxDOT, at least just yet. Remember, it's 6 a.m., so things are going to get a little bit busier in the next few minutes or so. But as we talked about this earlier in the morning, just make sure that you drive carefully, especially if you have a high-profile vehicle, although Mike did mention that some of those winds were already dying down a little bit. But let's get a quick look there. 37 at Fair Avenue. Very quiet morning here in town. And as we take you to the map, it does look like a crash may have popped up right there along State Highway 151, closer to Loop 1604. We'll find out if we can get a shot at from TransGuide. But other than that, it has been a very quiet morning on the roadways. And the same goes for these travel times. It's been pretty green across the board. Pleasant Drive from Pleasanton along I-37 northbound, 28 minutes to the Alamo City. Along US 90, you can expect about 30 minutes along those eastbound lanes if you're traveling in from Castroville this early, and it looks like that arrival from Lytle should take about 16 minutes along 35 northbound. But let's get you one last look here around town. 281 at Nakoma. Expect to see some delays along 281 as the morning commute does get going, but we'll get you through it and watch the roads closely. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Fire investigators are trying to learn more about what caused a fire that left one person dead. It broke out earlier this morning inside a home in the 8900 block of Mansfield, not far from Petranco Road. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, have you been able to find out anything more about the person who died?
No information just yet. Investigators told me they're not able to release anything just yet, including the gender of the person who was killed. But the fire did happen in this house right here behind me. It doesn't look like much damage from this angle, but they tell us that the damage is very severe inside. I have some video to show you from earlier when we had fire crews here. They were called out just before 2 o'clock this morning. They say they found heavy smoke coming from the back of the house. They had a bit of trouble getting inside the house because they say there were a lot of items just all over the house in the way. They couldn't get in there. They had trouble getting to the area where the fire was, getting water on that. When they did get inside and knock down that fire, that is when they found the person dead inside. And again, no information, including the gender of the person. We have not heard yet from investigators what they believe the cause of this fire was. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. New this morning, a woman is facing a robbery charge after an incident at a beauty store on the city's southeast side. The woman you see here is 22-year-old Elise Jones. We're working on the picture, folks. She's accused of taking items from Ella Beauty on Southeast Military Drive near I-37. A police affidavit says she was able to get away while two other people caused a disturbance in the store. When an employee followed her to the parking lot, Jones is accused of pepper spraying her in the face.
San Antonio police are looking for a man who they say shot his significant other in the middle of a parking lot. So these are the apartments on Pleasanton Road near Gerald Avenue and South Cross. Officers tell us that a witness heard the man and woman arguing, then heard gunshots. The woman was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the back. The suspect drove off, and police are still collecting evidence and statements.
Meanwhile, a man will spend the rest of his life in prison for killing a Good Samaritan. Leopoldo Mora was convicted of shooting and killing Kenneth Salazar while he was helping a stranger fix his vehicle in June of 2021 outside a West Side motel. A Bexar County jury only took about an hour Wednesday to convict Mora of murder. Same jury took 4 hours to decide Mora's prison sentence Thursday. Mora is 37 years old and will now be eligible for parole in 30 years.
In your morning headlines, disgraced South Carolina attorney Alec Murdoch faces up to life in prison after a jury found him guilty in the shooting of his wife and son.
As ABC's Faith Abube reports, the verdict comes just days after Murdoch took the stand and admitted that he lied to investigators.
Disgraced former South Carolina attorney Alec Murdoch leaving the Colleton County Courthouse in handcuffs moments after a jury found him guilty in the deaths of his son and wife.
Verdict, guilty.
The 12-person jury unanimously convicting Murdoch on 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of possessing a weapon during a violent crime. A dramatic end to the 6-week trial, full of twists and turns. Prosecutors unraveling a double murder case tied to lies, corruption, and financial crimes by the once powerful lawyer.
The evidence of guilt is overwhelming.
Murdoch's wife and son were shot to death near the family's dog kennels on June 7, 2021. The 54-year-old's alibi questioned after prosecutors revealed his voice was caught on this video shot by his late son minutes before the murders.
Damn, Bubba.
Murdoch finally admitting on the witness stand that he lied to investigators about the last time he saw the victims.
Why in the world would an innocent, reasonable father and husband lie about that?
Murdoch also admitted to stealing millions of dollars from his clients and law firm. The defense pushing back.
Even if the financial day of reckoning was impending, if it was right there, Alec would not have killed the people he loved the most in the world.
But despite no murder weapon or hard evidence tying Murdoch to the crime, the jury returning a quick guilty verdict.
They closed off any pathways that the defense tried to make to create reasonable doubt in this case.
And Murdoch will be back in court later on this morning for his sentencing. Now, prosecutors are not seeking the death penalty, but the disbarred lawyer faces 30 years to life in prison without parole. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
And right now on KSAT.com, check this out. Atascosa County Animal Control was in for a surprise when they responded to a call yesterday morning. They discovered an alligator on the road off of 281 near Campbellton. Now, officials say that while alligators are common in the southern end of the county, this one was bigger than normal. It was between 10 and 11 feet long, while they typically see them between 5 and 6 feet long. Texas Parks and Wildlife Department and a ranch hand were able to push the alligator into a local pond.
So he's still down there. Right now, 6:10, 58 degrees.
And still ahead at 6, a new instant camera is coming out that has photography fans buzzing. We're going to take a look at new features and how much it could cost you.
And after the break, the UIL state basketball tournament is underway at the Alamo Dome. We'll check out the Wagner girls state semifinal matchup last night and who's playing today.
And let's look out there with live cam. Happy Friday, guys. It's 58 degrees, nice and cool, and still a little windy out there. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Just about 6:14, the girls high school basketball state tournament is underway here in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome.
Wagner played Frisco Liberty in the UIL Class 4A state semifinals in a game that was stopped briefly due to some hail coming through the roof.
GMSA intern Kelly Marsh brings us the sights and sounds of the game and what's next for the Wagner Thunderbirds.
A bit of a slow start for Wagner, but then they rallied, taking the lead early in the second quarter. But they had no answer and fell in their first semifinal game since 2015.
I think they played defense pretty good. They knew in order to stop our movement and stuff, they had to face guard. They knew if I couldn't hit threes and if they stopped LA from driving the basket, it would stop our movement.
There were sometimes that we did not box out. They were a big team. Sometimes crucial times that we didn't box out. But overall, I'm proud of these girls overall. It just didn't fall our way. We had several shots in the first half that went in and went out. But overall, I'm happy and proud of these kids.
Wagner ended their season 28-5 overall. For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm Kelly Marsh.
Great job, Kelly. All right, looking ahead, folks, Clark Cougars will hit the court tonight at 7. They play Coppell in the UIL Class 6A state semis. And before that, Bernie will play Sunnyvale 3 p.m. in the Class 4A state semifinals. All games will be played there at the Dome. No hail today.
No, that won't be something they'll have to worry about. Time now, 6:15, and so far drivers are just worrying about the wind.
Yes. You know, I've been like this all morning because it's really been a nice Friday morning in my corner of the studio, but drivers, both hands on the wheel. Let's give a quick look around town. 35 at New Braunfels. Not a lot of traffic out there, but that's expected to change in the next few minutes or so as we get closer to morning rush. But you can see it right there. 35 at Nogalitos, just a bit more activity out on the roadways. Now, thankfully, nothing major has been reported, but earlier we talked about an incident that took place here along State Highway 151. Looks like that has now been reported as a stalled vehicle according to TxDOT. So if you're traveling along the eastbound lanes as you approach Hunt Lane, you will see a little bit of a slowdown that's taking place out there. But as a friendly reminder, check your vehicles before you get out on the roadway. 6:16, let's get a wide look at the metropolitan area. Just plenty of construction taking place, and that's going to continue as expected throughout the weekend. Let's talk about what's happening here along Loop 410 on the northeast side of San Antonio. Striping and barrier work will continue and take us all the way up until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Multiple left lane closures along Loop 410 eastbound main lanes. That's from Nacogdoches Road to Harry Wurzbach Road. But you know where to find that information. It's at ksat.com/traffic. And there's our QR code. Scan it and it'll take you directly there, and you can plan your commute ahead of time. There is a full list of closures that are happening right now. So again, good to know before you go.
What's the theory on the hail getting into the dome, that it came through exhaust vents in the ceiling, in the roof, I mean?
Yeah, but it actually made it onto the court and scattered around like somebody dropped a cup of Sonic Ice everywhere.
They had to stop the game for a while.
And I guess when they designed it, who would have thought that you would have, designed it for hail and wind, but, at the same time, in the winds that were gusting at times 60 miles per hour or more.
Made it a different
and then
scenario
blew it in sideways.
altogether. Yep.
Interesting. All right, This morning, still breezy, but the wind is starting to subside. We've got stronger winds down to the southeast. There's kind of a line of some really gusty winds that moved through town earlier this morning. We actually had wind gust up to 49 miles per hour out there at the airport earlier this morning, and 62, someone reported out there at Castroville. So this morning, we're going to be down to 50. Yeah, still breezy, but not as windy, and then things will continue to settle down throughout the day. 75 for high temperature. Great looking day. Just fantastic. Dry airs in place. Pardon me?
Looking forward to
it.
And then tonight, if you are heading out, grab a jacket this morning. You'll need one if you are going to be out this evening, because it is going to be breezier. It is going to be cooler later on this evening with that dry air. It's going to cool off quickly.
This is what I was worried about last night. This kind of scene.
That is crazy.
Yeah, some of those older trees, and that great neighborhood right there around Donaldson just couldn't take it anymore. That's going to be a huge cleanup. So folks that do have to clean things up, feel for you there. So we have winds that are still a little, like I said, breezy down to the southeast, 23 mile per hour winds at Gonzales. Same thing at Pleasanton, but it's settled down somewhat there at New Braunfels. And you can see there is no wind really to speak of in places like Bandera, Hondo, and 15 mile per hour winds there at Bulverde. Still a gust out at Lost Maples, still 37 there at Pleasanton, but things will continue to ease up as far as the wind is concerned. 52 in town, 53 Divine, 46 Kerrville and Comfort, and 49 right now in Bandera. We're down closer to a normal low temperature. Of course, we got all that very dry air that moved in here in behind that cold front that moved through, and dew point temperatures. The measure of moisture in the atmosphere, basically, we're up in the mid-upper 60s yesterday. It was very, very humid at this time. They have dropped 46 degrees here in town. About an hour or two ago in Uvalde, it had dropped down about 58 degrees compared to this time yesterday. That much drier air is in place. And so that's why we're going to have just a fantastic day. We'll bottom out at 50 and still breezy this morning. But again, the wind continues to ease up throughout the course of the day. 69 at noon and then 75 for a high temperature. And like I said, once the sun goes down, it will cool off quickly with the light wind and the dry air that's in place. And we keep this dry air around throughout the rest of today as well as tomorrow. Now, it won't be as dry, still very comfortable. Dew points 40s, we'll take that. And same thing pretty much on Sunday. But notice how then here comes the humidity starting to work its way back in here as we approach that threshold of 60 degrees when you feel the humidity. And so that's going to be the case the first part of the week. It is going to be much more humid. There's the low that came by and brought that front through here. That's going to continue to race on out. Not much really is going on through the weekend. A very tranquil pattern. Cool morning, warmer afternoons, and that's the situation throughout the start of next week. And then as we go into the latter part of next week, we're watching that next low. Now that one is going to stay pretty much well up to the north of us, but notice the big trough developing here. And when you get those upper level wind lines coming almost straight down out of Canada and out of the northern United States, there is, and still it's a week away, but with this configuration, we're going to have a pretty significant front moving through here then by the latter part of next week. So very warm, and then temperatures drop down. 69 at noon, sunny skies, high temperature today up to 75, still 4 degrees above normal, a lot of sunshine, great looking day like I said, and then cools off quickly tonight. Tomorrow, 48 starting off, 50 on Sunday, add 30 to each of those approximately. And so on the warm side in the afternoons with all that sunshine out there. And then notice the difference in the low temperature. Monday morning, 60, 65 Tuesday, a lot more humidity. Hot and humid, I guess you could say, starting off next week. Then another pretty good front moving on through here. As far as rain chances,
not there yet.
Yeah, a couple of showers, but still. Now, a lot of folks did pick up some decent rain last night, about 16/100ths of an inch. Just had 2/10 out there at the airport. Some folks on the east side of Bexar County about 1 3/4 inches, which was nice.
And the other thing I'm noticing on TransGuide cameras is there's enough stuff in the air now. This morning sunrise looks like it's going to be absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, with a lot of that dust that came on in here, should be a pretty one.
Okay,
Yep.
pretty, but not good for allergens.
No, not at all. 621, 58 degrees.
And just ahead, Congress is asking Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg to keep the virtual reality app away from teens, why it has to do with mental health.
She found it, the feeling of finding the psoriasis treatment she's been looking for. Sotyktu is the first of its kind once daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding that outfit psoriasis tried to hide from you, or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time. Dad, once daily Sotyktu is proven to get more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu for clearer skin. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the girlfriend of one of the victims in that deadly January crash is speaking out.
That's 2 lives that, so many people loved and so many people cared about. And
Georgia football star Jalen Carter returned to the NFL Combine on Thursday after charges were filed against him for his alleged involvement in the crash that killed 2 people, Chandler LaCroix and Devin Willock, who was also one of Carter's teammates. Willock's girlfriend, Kate Mosley, says it's all so unfair.
He was a 20-year-old man who had such a life in front of him, and he deserved everything that was good in this world. I'm not going to say if I think that someone should be blamed. I just think that, we really need to focus on who he was as a person and the impact he left on those around him.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the very latest on Jalen Carter, who says he will be cleared of criminal wrongdoing. With your GMA First Look, I'm Steve Osensami, ABC News Atlanta.
In your morning consumer headlines, senators versus the Metaverse. Meta boss Mark Zuckerberg getting a letter from 2 Democrats asking the company to restrict its virtual reality app to adults. A report said Meta will soon open Horizon Worlds to teenagers. Those senators are concerned the app could harm their mental health. Meta has not commented on the letter.
Microsoft is giving users more control over the personality of the Bing AI. There's now a creative option, which gives more imaginative answers and a precise option for shorter replies.
Remember Polaroid? Well, check this out. Fujifilm adding a new instant camera to its lineup, the Insta-X Mini 12. Looks a lot like the Mini 11. But there's a new lens feature that lets you twist to zoom instead of pushing a button. The camera can also be powered on and off by twisting the lens. It'll be available this month for only $80.
Looks fun.
It's gonna sell.
Yeah, I think so. I like the little pictures. Time now 6:27 and 58 degrees for now.
Still ahead at 6:30, the city of San Antonio will soon start paying some bars and restaurants to keep the noise down. We'll explain how that might work in just moments. Plus,
I feel like I have to change my whole life around for this individual because nobody can keep him behind bars.
A woman is on the edge and tells KSAT a protective order against an ex-boyfriend isn't keeping her safe, and now he's on the loose again, accused of cutting off an ankle monitor. That's next at 6:30.
And right now, taking a look at that beautiful sunrise out there at 410 and Callahan looking eastward. Stephen Cavazos will be tracking traffic for you all morning long, and we'll have an update with him coming up at the bottom of the hour. Stick around. You're watching GMSA.
Fire crews called here to the west side to put out a house fire, make a sad discovery. They found a person dead inside the home. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you why they say they had a tough time getting inside that house. That's coming up.
And also this morning on GMSA, we're getting a lot of hail video from all over the area.
We had big storms in the overnight hours. The other has been the wind, some of the gustiest winds we have seen around here in a very long time. Mike will tell you about some of those peak wind gusts, and we'll look ahead to the weekend forecast.
And let's look at the latest for the outages in our area. Right now, it looks like there's just over 2,000 customers affected, 2,156.
Not out of the woods yet. It actually went back up in the last hour or so. We will be talking to Mike in just a second. Good morning, everybody. The important news.
Yes.
We've made it to the end of the work week. It is Friday, March 3rd.
Yes, that's good news. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us. Hope you've had a good week. The weather's been interesting for sure.
Yes, started out very hot and humid, and then, we had that front move through, and it lived up to what was advertised. At one point yesterday, the highest wind gust at the airport, 58 miles per hour, but a lot of areas even stronger than that.
70s and 80 mile per hour gusts?
There were some with not official reports, but folks that have their own home weather gauges reported, like out around west in Castroville this morning, 63 mile per hour wind gusts there, and there was 52 down at Stinson earlier this morning, 49 even this morning out there at the airport. Right now, still breezy down there at Pleasanton, 25 mile per hour. These are sustained winds, but notice how things have really started to settle down. I mean, there's no wind to speak of Rio Medina as well as in Bandera, and gusts. Now, still very gusty. Canyon Lake, New Braunfels, 36 at Pleasanton, but this line of really strong wind gusts is continuing to work its way down to the southeast, so that's why things are settling down. We'll still have a breeze around this morning. Temperatures have cooled down. We're in the 40s and low to mid 50s around much of the area. We'll drop another couple of degrees here in town before it's all said and done. And allergens. Now, this was yesterday's count. Oak, mulberry on the moderate side, low amounts of everything else. It's going to be interesting to see if the wind does indeed affect all of these allergens like it does, with mountain cedar when you get those strong cold fronts moving on through, and that really shakes up those mountain cedar trees. So still windier this morning. Cool, grab a jacket, and then later on today, gorgeous day. We're going to be in the mid 70s, a couple of degrees above normal, not as windy by any stretch. And then with the dry air, light wind tonight, it's going to cool off quickly once the sun goes down. So if you are heading out, make sure you take a jacket. And then this weekend, cool mornings, warmer in the afternoon. We're going to be up to 80 both days. Still pleasant as far as the humidity is concerned, but that humidity is going to start to make its return on Sunday especially, and then it's going to be warm / hot and humid starting off next week. Then another front late in the week should cool us back down again. All those details and a closer look at the good-looking weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Stephen, problems on the roads at all?
Not from this shot, Mike. 410 at Callahan. In fact, this is a beautiful shot from TransGuide 410 at Callahan. You can see the sun already starting to rise there. And for drivers that are getting out in the next few minutes or so, you'll have a nice view. But remember, keep your focus on the roadways. Now, while this shot is not causing or not showing any issues out there on the roads, we are still seeing some problems here with this stalled vehicle that was reported along State Highway 151 eastbound at Hunt Lane. Now, we do have that buildup that continues to stretch out there, and it's still being reported by TxDOT. So we'll watch the area closely, but unfortunately, there are no TransGuide cameras in the area that would be able to show us the conditions. But our map is showing that obviously traffic is already starting to pick up. Do want to take a jump down over here closer to the southeast side where we do have a crash that's been reported along US 181 near Foster Road. Now, right now, nothing has been reported by TxDOT laptop, but our map has picked that up, and it's right there along the lanes where you can see both the north and south, a little bit of a slowdown taking place. So regardless if you're traveling in either direction, expect a bit of a slowdown and watch for first responders. Now, let's go ahead and give you a wide look at the map here as we get closer to a busier time for morning rush. But right now, things aren't too bad, but we're going to start to see a lot more of that red take over our map here. But thankfully, we have shots like this that'll give us a little bit of relief with the beautiful sunrise at 410 at Callahan. But we'll watch the area closely and have those updates for you guys throughout the morning. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Developing now, firefighters tried, but they say there was nothing they could do to save a West Side home or the person who lived there. They found that person dead inside the home. Our Katrina Weber is live in the 8900 block of Mansfield, not far from Petranco Road. Katrina, was anyone else inside that home when the fire broke out?
Well, firefighters did not mention anyone else being inside there, but that could be something that is part of their investigation. What they tell us they did find was heavy smoke on the back side of the house when they arrived about 2 o'clock this morning. Fire crews got to work quickly, but they say the house was packed with items that slowed them down. It made it tough for them to get inside and get water on the fire. When crews finally made their way inside, they say they found a person dead. And right now, they do not know how the fire started. We also don't know anything else about that person, including the gender. Investigators told us that they were not able to release any of that information just yet. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Well, this morning, crews will be looking at the roof of the Alamodome after hail got through it last night. Happened during the 5A girls basketball state semifinal game between Wagner and Frisco Liberty. We're told the action stopped early in the fourth quarter after the hail started coming in. They were able to continue after crews cleaned up and dried off that area.
And there's new details in the case of an ex-boyfriend turned stalker who bonds out and then gets arrested again for trying to break into the victim's home. The DA's office says Simon Villa is on the run after cutting his ankle monitor. A warrant has been issued for his arrest. His victim says she was assaulted and stalked in 2020. She tells us he was back at her house last week trying to break in. He was arrested, given bond again, and now is on the run.
I haven't seen this guy in years, and he's running up on me with a hoodie. I've had no issues, and he gets released from prison, and I feel like I have to change my whole life around for this individual because nobody can keep him behind bars.
The DA says if Villa is caught, there's a good chance he will not be given a bond next go around.
City of San Antonio will soon start paying bars and restaurants with outdoor venues to try to keep the noise down. It's part of a $150,000 small business noise mitigation grant. There's a list of criteria the businesses have to meet. For example, it must be a small business and open for more than a year. Those closest to homes will be considered first. The application process will open at the end of this month. Up to $7,500 could be given to around 20 businesses that are accepted into the program.
If they can purchase the acoustical paneling or curtains or better speakers that help them be that neighbor, we want to help them bridge the gap to be able to afford it.
You can read more about this city program on ksat.com.
Happening today, an important job there. This comes as Texas Vista Hospital, the only hospital that serves the city's south side, will be closing on May 1st. In response, Baptist Health System is holding a hiring event in hopes of bringing on some of the soon-to-be former employees. So that is happening from 8 this morning to 4 in the afternoon. And while the focus will be on hiring employees from Texas Vista, Baptist Health System wants all healthcare professionals looking for work to attend.
639, 58 degrees.
Love of tennis can inspire many good qualities, but it can be costly. After the break in this morning's KSAT Kids story, how some local students are inspiring the next generation.
6:42 on a Friday. Welcome back. Tennis can be a lifelong sport that can nurture friendships and hard work ethic, but it can be one of those expensive sports.
That's why a group of local high school students put on a free clinic twice a month for kiddos.
Our Sarah Costa spoke with tennis players about why they want to pass on their love for tennis to others.
Annabelle, Adriana, Peyton, and Naomi are all part of the Alamo Heights High School tennis team. They have worked very hard to get where they are in their sport of tennis and say they have learned so much from it. It's why for the past year they wanted to share their love for the sport with others through a free clinic.
I grew up playing tennis with my dad whenever I was younger, and I thought, why not be able to teach tennis to other children?
It forms your character, and it teaches you patience and endurance, and it showed me that not everything comes right when you want it, and you have to work hard over lots of months, and then you can get what you want.
Adriana says tennis can be perceived as an expensive sport, but she believes there are ways to play at a more affordable price.
I want to show people that tennis isn't all about the money, and it's accessible to all, and I think everyone should have the opportunity to play if they want. You can rent for very minimal money, and rackets you can get from hand-me-downs, and we just want to prove to people that you can play it no matter what. Same thing.
The clinic called Serves for Love is for children ages 5 years old to middle school, where they teach students the basics of the sport, how to hit ground strokes, how to hold a racket, and how to get the ball over the net.
This little girl, she was probably 4. She had to stand so close to the net, but she got it over for the first time, and she was just so excited, and it was just so great to be able to see them learning and being excited about what they're learning.
Their overall goal is to teach kids the values of tennis, but most importantly, help them make those lifelong relationships.
Just kids making friends, being happy, saying, you know, I want to come to this clinic, not they're just parents putting them in it, but yeah, overall making friends and wanting to be there, wanting to learn.
You can check out the free clinic Serves for Love here at the Fit Tennis Center in Windcrest every other Sunday. I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Don't be fooled. She was a youth player, and she was actually pretty good. And I was thinking how fun it would be to play against Sarah in pickleball.
Oh, my goodness.
Because the pickleball, I'd be swallowing that ball. She'd ram it right down my throat with her serve.
I think she's pretty competitive.
She
did an awesome job right there.
Yes. Yes, she is. Nice story. 6:45 on your Friday.
Let's check back with Stephen with those windy conditions on the runway.
And also it's tough to do a stand-up like that, talk and be active. So major shout out to Sarah and the girls that we featured in her story. Let's get a quick look around town. We had obviously been keeping a very close eye on the roadways, but these TransGuide cameras are really just showing that traffic is picking up there along 410 at Austin Highway. That's expected. Listen, guys, we're at the start of morning rush, so we're going to start to see a few more folks out there and a lot more red take over our screen. But we're going to start here because this stall is still being reported by TxDOT along those eastbound lanes of 151. Now, unfortunately, it's in an area where there are no TransGuide cameras, but one thing that we can keep track of here is all that red that is starting to build. And 151, if you travel along that route, you can probably expect to see a delay on any ordinary day, but not sure if that stall is contributing to the slowdown that we're watching. Also, take a drive over here because 181, we still have that crash that our map picked up and still picking up a little bit of a slowdown along the north and southbound lanes. There it is, getting a little bit worse actually along 191 as you get closer to Foster Road. Now, again, another spot, unfortunately, where there are no TransGuide cameras, but we're going to keep a very close eye on these two particular areas, but we're already starting to see some of those slowdowns take place along US 90 eastbound as you're heading in from Castroville, so just be prepared. We'll watch things closely.
Our buddy Oscar, better known as Skywatcher, just sent me an email. He goes, the rain that came through last night had a lot of stuff, dirt, crud, etc. It's going to be a busy day, a busy weekend at car washes.
Yes, the cleanup.
Yeah, all the weather folks last night texting about that as well, with washing all that or raining all of that dust out of the air and everything like that, which made for a great sunset last night. Take a look at this picture as the some of that dust and those clouds out there as the sun was going down before the real heavy storms really started to move into the San Antonio area. Great sunset over Woodlawn Lake, and boy, it's a good-looking sunrise this morning. 10-mile-per-hour winds at the airport, 17 Pleasanton, so not bad right now. It was a lot windier earlier this morning. Still got a couple of wind gusts out there, but the heaviest, strongest winds are continuing to work their way. It's kind of a band of very strong wind. It's working its way off to the east and to the southeast. 46 Rio Medina, 45 Hondo, 52 at the airport, Valverde, and 54 right now at New Braunfels, and we will drop down when it's all said and done 50 degrees, so normal low 49. call it where it should be. And then a high temperature, noon temperature, 69. A lot of sunshine. Not as windy at all this afternoon, windier this morning. And then just a really nice day today. 75, sunshine, dry air, and open up the windows and enjoy it. We've got going back 12 hours. You can see we don't have anything out there as of right now. As a matter of fact, 12 hours ago, all of that rain had moved on out of here, and we've got upstream, nothing really going on. So this is what's in store for the weekend. Just a really nice looking weekend. We're going to have pleasant mornings down to normal low temperatures, right around 50, give or take, and then add roughly 30 to that. So we are going to be on the warm side in the afternoon. Now, as far as temperatures, like I said, we get up to 80 the next couple of days, and then mid 80s starting off next week, and then we'll cool back down by the end of the week. Low temperatures, this is always a good indication of how much humidity is around there, how much heat we can lose overnight. We'll be down to normal Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Notice how these numbers stay up in the mid 60s. So it's good indication. Got a lot more humidity coming in here to start off next week, and then we'll cool down, like I said, by the end of next week. There's the low that brought the front on through here. That gets on out. Very tranquil pattern coming in here for the next couple of days. And that's why we're going to have this spectacular weekend. That low is going to continue to develop out there to the northwest. And as it moves across the country, it's not really going to come in on top of us, but this one's going to, what the indications are right now, big trough will come on through here. And when you get these upper level wind lines coming in straight out of the northern United States and Canada, that's some pretty chilly air. So there are some indications. And again, it's still a week away that we are going to be on the cooler side then going into next weekend. 69 today at noon. Sunny skies. Good looking day today, and then a high temperature makes it up to 75 over the weekend. Cool mornings, jackets in the morning, don't need it in the afternoon. Going to be a really, really nice weekend. 80 both days. Humidity is going to begin its return on Sunday, and then it's going to be more humid Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Hot temperatures, mid 80s, 15 degrees above normal as we go into Monday and Tuesday. And then that next front comes through Wednesday, Thursday. Now, as far as rain, that's still the determining factor. We don't have, right now the rain chances are pretty low on Wednesday and Thursday.
Gotcha. Well, we need it, but we kind of don't want it to happen the following week. It's spring break.
True.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would be happy, to give up maybe a spring break for some decent rain around
a few
here.
days.
A day or two.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Deal. All right, let's go outside with live cam at 6:50, 58 degrees. It's Friday. You're watching GMSA. We'll be back after this.
Good morning. Coming up, an exclusive interview with one of the jurors from the Alec Murdoch trial as the former lawyer waits to be sentenced for killing his wife and son. The lead prosecutor and the South Carolina Attorney General join us live. Also this morning, we're tracking the extreme weather. 115 million of us on alert this morning, with Twister slamming the South overnight and a state of emergency in parts of California after the heavy snow. Those stories and so much more coming up right here on GMA. Join us.
Just about 5 minutes till 7.
Let's get one last look at traffic with our Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Still tracking some of the issues out on the roadways, but now we have entered morning rush, so things are likely going to get a little bit busier. Not a bad shot, though. 35 in Nogalitos, but 37 at Jones Avenue is just an example of what we're going to start to see a little bit more of. Slowdowns. Now, we still have this stall if you're traveling along the eastbound lanes of 151, so watch out because slowdowns are expected in the area. We'll keep a very close eye on that spot, but unfortunately, no TransGuide cameras. And a quick jump over here does show a crash still active along 181 near Foster Road. Mike.
Thank you, sir. And still have a bit of a breeze around here this morning, although winds are nowhere near as strong as what they were earlier. And as you can see, even no wind to speak of out there in Bandera. A couple of wind gusts, 28 miles per hour still at Pleasanton, but that stronger wind is going to continue to work its way down to the southeast. We're at 50 right now, 40s hill country. 49, no low temperature, normal is, so we're right where we should be. 75 for high temperature later on today, and just a good looking weekend. Cool mornings, nice warm afternoons. Humidity comes back in here next week.
Thank you, Mike. We want to take a little minute and wish our coworker Tiffany Huertas, usually see her here on GMSA at 9, a very happy birthday.
Yes, she's off today, so we can't drag her in here or our group hug her, but she's a big part of our GMSA family here at KSAT 12, and we do wish her a very happy birthday and a wonderful weekend.
Yes, a good birthday weekend. Enjoy, Tiffany.
We've got a bunch of birthdays coming up here at KSAT very soon.
Well, should we just say
April.
it? Yeah. Happy early birthday to Courtney tomorrow.
Courtney Friedman.
That's right.
Yes.
And then on Sunday, happy birthday to our Alyssa Cole as well.
That's right.
And she's on vacation. She's back visiting family. So happy early birthday.
What are these people taking time off on their birthdays that we can't, like you said, drag them in here and embarrass them?
I love being embarrassed. So
Well, we did that this year.
Well, you know what? No shame in my game.
Okay. We're glad we celebrated.
I'm glad we celebrate you guys.
Happy birthday to everybody with a birthday this weekend.
Yeah. We'll see you at 9.